Hi everyone, I am Abikeli Akire. In this video, I'll be explaining the National Tourism Development Plan or NTDP 2023 to 2028. I'll walk you through four major points: why a country needs an NTDP, what the current NTDP focuses on, its strengths and weaknesses, and finally my own suggestion for improving it. Number one is purpose of having a national tourism development plan. Let's start with the first question. What the purpose of having a tourism development plan in the first place? The simplest way to understand it is this: an NTDP serves as a roadmap. It guides a country's tourism industry so that growth happens in an organized, sustainable, and beneficial way. Without a plan, tourism development can become scattered. Some places may get too much invested, others may be neglected, or environmental damage might happen because everyone is operating without coordinator. A good national tourism development plan sets clear priorities. It identifies which markets the country wants to attract, what kinds of tourism products should be developed, and which area need infrastructure support. It also helps government agencies work together: tourism, transportation, environment, local government units, instead of working separately. Another important purpose is providing standards. It guides safety, regulation, service quality, and sustainable requirements. And finally, it sets measurable targets so the country can monitor progress, adjust strategies, and ensure that tourism growth actually benefits communities. In short, the National Tourism Development Plan creates direction, coordination, and accountability, things that are essential if a country wants tourism to grow responsibly and competitively. So second is focus of the National Tourism Development 2023 to 2028. Now let's move on to the current National Tourism Development Plan covering 2023 to 2028. This plan may approve in 2023, and it serves as the Philippines' blueprint for recovering and strengthening tourism after the pandemic. The maintained focus on the NTDP 2023 to 2028 can be summarized into a few key themes. First, it aims to strengthen the Filipino brand by promoting our identity, culture, and hospitality. It wants visitors to experience something uniquely Filipino, not just generic tourism activities. Second, it emphasizes sustainability and resilience because the Philippines is highly exposed to natural disasters and climate risk. The plan highlights the need of environmentally responsible practices, preparedness, and protection of natural and cultural resources. Third, it focuses on enhancing global competitiveness. This includes improving infrastructure, making travel more convenient, enhancing connectivity, upgrading service quality, and supporting innovations in tourism products. Fourth, the National Tourism Development Plan gives strong attention to domestic tourism. During the pandemic, domestic travel kept the industry alive. This plan builds on that momentum by encouraging Filipinos to explore local destinations, and support both small and large tourism enterprises. And finally, the National Tourism Plan pushes for institutional reforms, particularly better governance, stronger partnerships with LGUs, and improved coordination between public and private sectors. Overall, the plan balances short-term recovery with long-term goals or sustainability, inclusiveness, and competitiveness. So now let's talk about the strength and the weaknesses of National Tourism Development Plan. One major strength is that the plan provides a very clear direction. It aligns national and local actions so everyone in the tourism sector is working towards the same goals. Another strength is a strong focus on sustainability and resilience in a country like the Philippines. Protecting natural resources and preparing for disaster isn't optional, it's essential, so this emphasis is a big plus. The National Tourism Development Plan also highlights domestic tourism, which is smart because it helps stabilize the industry even when global travel is uncertain. It also pushes the product diversification such as cultural tourism, ecotourism, and adventure tourism, which can attract different types of travelers and encourage longer stays. Lastly, um, the plan acknowledged the importance of partnership and institutional reforms, recognizing that tourism can only succeed if national agency, LGUs, and private sector holders work together. However, the National Tourism Development Plan also has weaknesses and challenges. One of the biggest challenges is implementation. Plans look great on paper, but local government units and small tourism enterprises may lack funding, skills, or technical support to actually carry out of strategies. Another weakness is the risk of uneven benefits. If the National Tourism Development Plans does not intentionally address inequality, growth may become concentrated in already development areas, while poor regions fall behind. This also includes issues such as gender inequality in hiring, leadership roles, and pay. Problems that the tourism sector still struggles with. Coordination and fundings are also potential weaknesses. The plan requires strong political will, continuous budgets, and efficient monitoring system. Without this, projects may slow down or remain incomplete. Lastly, while the plan sets targets, its monitoring and enforcement mechanism need to be very strong. Without consistent assessment and accountability, goals might not translate into real change on the ground. For the last part, here are my own suggestions for further improve the national tourism development 2023 to 2028. First, the government should invest more in building the capacity of local governments and community-based tourism groups. Many destinations have potential but lack training, marketing skills, or resources to meet national standards. Second, funding needs to be secure and consistent. Dedicated budget should be allocated for tourism infrastructure, sustainability, programs, and community development. Third, the National Tourism Plan can be improved by making inclusion more measurable. The plan should integrate indicators that lack gender equality, youth participation, and the involvement of indigenous communities. For example, incorporating gender-sensitive policies. Leadership develops for women and regular salary audits in tourism businesses. Fourth, monitoring system should be strengthened. More transparent reporting, independent audits, and regular evaluation will help ensure that goals are being met and strategies are adjusted when needed. And lastly, strategies should encourage responsible tourism, such as dispersing visitors to lesser known destination, promoting off-season travel, and highlighting cultural and environmental respect. For to the wrap everything up, the tourism development 2023 to 2028 gives the Philippines a strong, promising foundation for tourism development, balancing economic growth with sustainable cultural and resilience. It's successful, however, will depend on how well we support local communities, strengthens governments, and promotes fair and inclusive policies. So, thank you for watching. I hope this helped you understand the National Tourism Development Plan more clearly. Bye bye!